This entire trip was planned for Josh for our 10-year wedding anniversary. So he had absolutely no clue what we were going to be doing. The first 5 to 6-ish minutes are going to be about him finding out the things we were getting to do in Utah that week, along with us kind of giving a little bit about how our first night went. If you want to skip directly to the good stuff, you can just go to like minute 6-ish and it'll lead you right there. One thing I will note is one of the things we did that you will find out about is a place called White Pocket. I will talk more about that. That is actually not going to be a part of this video. It'll be a separate video that comes out later this week, so make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss the White Pocket video. A lot of our videos are very tip-driven and informative-driven. This one specifically is going to just be very vlog style. We're just literally bringing you along with us on our anniversary trip and showing you the beautiful sights that there are in Utah. We've got 2 cameras filming.
Okay, so we made it to Vegas. I'm looking at both cameras here. We've got both 2 going on. We made it to Vegas. Megan's actually not been yet.
No.
So we went to Guy Fieri's that I've been to before when I was here. They have a really good breakfast burrito. But this is the only part of the trip I know so far. We've done everything that I know. We got out of the airport. We got the rental car.
Yeah.
And we're at, well, I lied. I know about
Horrors Unleashed. That's on Saturday.
If you didn't watch on our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, any of that, she's been giving me some hints to let me know what this surprise trip was. I think they were very not helpful intentionally because I had no idea other than she said Unleashed. So I figured out Horrors Unleashed. That was pretty easy.
Okay, so it's officially time to tell him what the rest of the trip is. His final guess yesterday, he's not even sure it was positive, was the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, well, it was literally, it wasn't that I'm not sure I'm positive. It was literally, I guess, just throwing something out there because I know it's in the area.
Okay, so there's a few different things we're doing between the next couple days. A big thing that is on Josh's bucket list is to go hiking in Utah. So we are staying at Zion Cliff Lodge.
Oh, awesome.
And we are hiking at Zion all day tomorrow. All day.
Oh,
We're
wow.
going to do a sunrise hike. We're hiking there all day tomorrow and evening. And then we are working with a really incredible company that we're so stoked to work with. And I can't wait to show you all more. They're called Dreamland Safari Tours. And we are working with them, and they're taking us to a place in Arizona on Friday called White Pockets. And it's hard to access on your own. You have to have a high clearance vehicle or a certain kind of vehicle to get to it. It's very secluded. I'm going to show him pictures when we get off here.
I don't even know what this place is, so it sounds awesome.
Beautiful.
But if there's a lack of excitement, it's me. 1, lack of sleep. 2, I'm actually trying to figure out what she's saying we're doing as well. So Zion, I know Zion. I've not been. I was supposed to go before.
Yes.
And that trip got canceled. That's been many a years ago now.
Yes.
The safari, I don't.
Well, the place is called Dreamland Safari Tours, but it's not necessarily a safari. They do different tours and hiking tours throughout Zion and other areas around here. There's so many Bryce Canyon. There's so many places to hike. But they're super awesome. We're really, like I said, really excited to work with them, that they're taking us on the hike. I'm going to feature them more later because they have so many details that really set them apart from other companies. And it's a big reason why we were excited to work with them. Or
I was excited. I didn't even know we were.
But I can't wait to fill him in more. When he knows more, I promise you he'll be so pumped. But this is literally the first time he's hearing any of this. So Zion, I actually applied for a permit for Angel's Landing for Josh. I can't do it with my pots. There's no way, but I can do Walter's Wiggles all the way up to Scouts Lookout. I lost the first permit, but I will find out at 3 p.m. today if he got the permit for tomorrow, if he will have the option to do it. If he chooses not to, we can cancel it.
Yeah, I say I am also very scared of heights. I was going to try it before with a group that I was going to have with me. So there's a part of me that hopes I don't get that permit because I'm going to try a little bit at the very least.
Yeah.
And okay, so if you don't know anything about me at all, my fear of heights is so bad. I've been to the Willis, what was once the Sears Tower, and gone to the top of it 2 times now. Both times I had to crawl out into the observation boxes there. I'm not capable of walking. So I assume with Angel's Landing, holding onto a chain, trying to walk up a massive mountain here, I might have some problems.
Yeah. All right, guys. It is, would you just 6:30?
It's 6:25.
6:25.
A.M., not P.M.
A.M. And the lighting is awful because we're using car light because it is dark outside and you can't see anything. We made it to Zion this morning. So our lodge that we're staying at is about 45 minutes to an hour away. It's not a bad drive though.
No, it's not a bad drive at all. And
No.
if you weren't driving when it's pitch black outside, there is lots of beautiful sights along the way as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a surprise when we get in there because we were just talking about like we can't see anything. So it's just.
I mean, we did see on the drive-in last
Yes.
night. Don't get me wrong. To our lodge and whatnot, but
Yeah.
we are in a different area now than we've been. So really, the only thing we got to see this morning was the main strip because there's so many businesses and well-lit things. Outside of that, it is mountains and nothing.
Yeah.
So there's not light.
Yeah, so we did not get the permit for Angel's Landing. I tried for the spring permit a month ago, didn't get that. I tried for this the next day permit. We didn't get that, which is totally fine. I wasn't gonna do it anyway, just he was. So.
And part of me is happy I didn't get it because I was going to try to do it, but fears of mine are heights, 1, and then claustrophobia, 2. So
Yeah. So we are going to go up there. You can go up to Scouts Lookout right before you need your permit for Angel's Landing, and it's still a really beautiful site.
why did we get here at 6:20 in the morning, you might ask? Well, there is free parking at the visitor center, but it fills up, especially right now when it's a busy season for them. So you want to get here as early as you can for that. And then 2, we wanted to actually be here before the sunrise to take that in in the mountains.
Yeah, so, and it's starting to get a little lighter out, so we're going to get going and go get on the bus and head to our first stop.
So we just got off the bus from the visitor center, 10 minutes ago or so, and started our ascent up the hill here, or the mountain.
So we've only been at this for, like you said, 10 or 15 minutes. My heart rate's already 165, so I've got to pace myself, and I know that, but the views already, guys. This is going to take, it's like 4.2 miles. It's going to take, it said, probably about 3 hours. So we will check back in a little bit. I think Walter's Wiggles might be the hardest part for me. I don't know though. We just began and I'm already struggling, but it's fine.
I think a lot of this is going to be harder for her than she is prepared for potentially because the elevation, I've hiked in Utah some. I've not been here, obviously. It's more been Park City, Salt Lake, things, Provo, places like that. But the elevation will destroy your cardiovascular system if you're not prepared for it.
Yes, but luckily we're not on anyone's schedule. We're literally just taking it easy. We only have a couple things planned for today, so we'll see how it goes.
And really it's about taking the sights in anyways, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If we have to slow down, take some breaks, we still get to see
This.
all this. All right, so we just made it to the top of Scouts Lookout here.
That is the farthest point you can go without a permit for Angel's Landing, which is right there. You climb right up that way. There is if you see me pointing right there, there's a ranger right there that you show your permit about.
And like she said, we didn't actually get the permit, so we're not allowed to do that today. That's okay. Hopefully we'll come back in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Again, I'm not sure how far I would make it up anyways with my fear of heights.
Yeah.
However, I felt pretty brave with everything today. Granted, that is more of a carved out walking path for you.
Yeah.
It still gets pretty, not extremely narrow, but a little narrow, and you definitely feel like you're in the sky. But if you're not familiar with Angel's Landing, you climb that with a chain, and
In some
you're
spots
not,
there's no chain.
yeah, you're not attached to the chain other than your hand. So it's definitely a different experience than the rest of this hike has been.
For sure. Sorry, I was looking at people at the top up there like, oh my gosh. I will say though, so they say this is like a round trip of 3 hours for the hike. It is, we got up here at like 8:40. We started at 7:15. So we're pretty much on track. I thought we'd be a little bit slower because I had to stop a lot and take breaks, but I wonder if they have that factored in.
Yeah, so for her, we took
Probably 7 or 8 at least.
Yeah,
breaks.
7 or 8 breaks for a couple minutes here or there, and
Yeah.
we were still able to make it up in that time. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's unreasonable. Also, the hike wasn't. I mean, it gets steep, but if you can pace yourself, take some breaks, have some water, whatever, it's not miserable.
All right, now we're going to show you all the pretty views now that we got all the way up here.
All right, so now that we reached Scout's Lookout, we are going to continue up to the West Rim. We're not going to do the entire hike there. We just want to get up to the top and see the viewpoint, really.
Something that I saw zero information on, zero videos, which shocks me nothing, is how many chipmunks you will see out here. There are so many chipmunks at the top up here, and they're so freaking cute, and they just come right up to you. Obviously, do not feed the wildlife. You are not supposed to do that. But oh my gosh, if it was acceptable to put one in my pocket and take it home, I would.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
All right, so we made it to the height that we are climbing on the West Rim here. Again, we could continue up and whatnot, but...
We're good. I'm good.
She's good.
We're going to go back down. We have more we want to do today, and tomorrow we're going to White Pocket, so we just want to get as much done as we can today. But yeah, let's show you these views. We will not get too close to the edge. Josh has made me so nervous today because he has gotten so close. So I will kind of show you as far as we'll go.
I'll show you. So we just finished our descent back down the mountain here and stopped to have a quick bite to eat at this pretty little river access spot.
So pretty. Now we're trying to figure out what we're going to do next. We originally wanted to go hike the Narrows, but since we're not going to be doing that all the time, I didn't want to buy all the really expensive gear for that. And so we can rent the gear up at the front. And so we were trying to decide if we're going to do that, or there's a couple other smaller hikes we really want to check out. So our next stop is really to go to the bus and figure out which one of those we're going to go do.
And if you're not sure what gear she was referencing with the Narrows, you walk through water there, so you need like wading gear, but rubber suit to keep yourself from being completely soaked.
Seriously, I have never seen a more peaceful spot to sit and enjoy a meal. We both kind of sat here in silence for a few minutes and just watched this and listened. I mean, you could probably hear the water in the background of us talking. I'm going to show you this view. Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I could probably take a nap, not because I'm tired, but it's just so relaxing and peaceful to sit here. It's also pretty secluded compared to most of the other areas we've been to. Not a lot of people came down here. We sat down and had a bite to eat basically by ourselves.
Just a few things to note just about Scouts Landing and about the hike we just did. I know we've talked a few times about how I had to take a lot of stops on the way up, but still we made a really great time getting up there overall. And if we would have turned around and came back down, we would have made perfect time for what it said.
But I do not recommend turning around immediately and coming back down once you hit the Scouts Landing. Above that, if you continue up to the West Rim like we did, the views are immaculate.
It's beautiful.
Maybe next time we're out here, I'll even continue up further from there. Just with us having to take the breaks that we have to take and then wanting to see other things as well, we didn't want to do that today. We didn't want to miss out on other opportunities to see other things. All right, so we are going to make our way up Kayenta Trail, I believe. Maybe saying that wrong. That's the way it reads to me. And we are going to follow that to the upper Emerald Pool.
And I think we're going to follow that to the lower Emerald Pool afterward is the plan. One path is lower, the other path is the middle.
We landed on the Emerald Pools instead of the Narrows or any of the other adventures there because the start point to Kayenta Trails, however you say that, is at the same bus stop as the starting point to Angel's Landing, Scouts Lookout, and all those things as well.
You can actually access the Emerald Pools, the upper, middle, and lower, from stop number 5 instead. We're on stop 6, and we just decided to stay here. Like he said, instead of riding the bus back to 5 and going up and back down, we're just going to hike this extra point and wrap around.
I will say, for the most part, this trail already is far more uneven, unpaved-like, and a lot more sandy. Not that there's not parts of the other trail that were the same way, but this entire trail seems to be that way. So it is a little bit of a harder hike in that sense, but it's also not been quite as steep. It's just unlevel, so you might have to step up on some stuff and whatnot as more. The views are still phenomenal. I don't think there's a bad place in this entire area to take in views, because you're either going to be at the top of a mountain or at the bottom of a mountain by the river looking up at the mountain. So it's all much different than our Florida and Indiana scenery here. So we're not there yet, and I can't really get it with this camera, I don't think, but we're coming up on this cool little waterfall here. Let me see if I can get any video of it before we get closer. So not the one I was referencing, but here's a man-made waterfall.
Oh no, I saw this stuff.
So still not the one that I was referencing, but that is at least not man-made.
Okay, so we made it to the middle Emerald Pools, and it overlooks this way, but it's very slippery, so you cannot go out there. We're gonna head to the upper and then go back down to the lower.
Yeah, once you get to the middle and start heading up to the upper, the path gets a lot more rugged.
There's so much more.
But this is the kind of hiking I actually like as for trails. I have a lot of fun. I used to run around this place called the Falls of the Ohio in Indiana, where we're from, and jump rock to rock and all that stuff. A little older now. Knees aren't quite as fresh. I don't do so much jumping and almost no running. But I still like climbing stuff like this. It's fun. So we officially made it to the upper Emerald Pools here.
It's beautiful.
It looks fake. Really, that's my thing for all this whole trip. Everything looks fake in the best way possible.
Literally the best way.
It looks unreal when I say fake. It looks like Bob Ross painted it.
So we're gonna head back down. Honestly, we were making really good time. So far, we hiked the whole was it Kayenta?
Yes, we hiked that trail.
The whole Kayenta Trail. We got to the middle pools, and we're at the upper Emerald Pools, and it's been 1 hour.
And when I said yes, that wasn't, I'm sure that's the name. It was yes. Whatever you call it.
Whatever you call it works. But yeah, so we're making really good time. So I'm going to tell you, that hike from the middle to the upper said 0.4 miles. I swear to you, I thought I was dying in a few points. It's very, up.
She said it felt like it was longer than 0.4 miles, but really it didn't feel long. It's just you're climbing a lot of rocks, like I captured earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think it said 0.4 to here, and it was 0.2 from the middle to the lower pool. Yeah. So it might actually be smarter to go back down that way and out than back the other way. So we may still do that.
All right, well, let's go see.
So we are officially reaching the lower Emerald Pool.
So we actually trucked back down very quickly. What did I say earlier? It was 1. It's only been 23 minutes since we got back from the upper through the middle again and back down to the lower. We'll show you real quick, but it is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful waterfalls.
If I had to pick one of the 3 that you shouldn't miss, it would probably be the upper so far, though. So after finishing all 3 pools there,
yeah, the Emerald Pool, the upper, pools, middle, and lower.
The upper, middle, and lower pool. Yeah. I still think the upper pool was my favorite.
Yeah.
I would say don't miss any of them, but if you ask for one that you literally can't miss, it's going to be the upper pool. Yeah. That might change in different seasons. If there was a lot of water, the lower, it could be prettier at different times, but from our experience today, the upper pool is the best one, and I would not miss it.
We're at the visitor center now, so we're going to go in, check some stuff out, see if we can get something for our kids. We just talked to them. See if we can get some for our kids, and then we're going to go finish up. We're going to get in our car and drive to the Overlook, because we have heard and seen that they have beautiful views there, like the best views. So we're gonna head that way. We are going to the Overlook. That's how we're ending our day.
Yeah, so we're gonna go up there and check it out. I will warn you, we didn't have to walk very far, That may have been luck, though. It probably could get worse than that. Parking, there is very limited actual parking for this.
Yeah.
So most people have to pull over on the side of the road in places that there's enough space. Keep in mind, you don't want to risk it and stick out in the road either, because you and other people are going to have to walk back on the edge or in the same road.
Yeah.
And we're on the side of a mountain. I'd just rather not do that. So...
but yeah, we're gonna get up here, and it shouldn't take too long. It says 1 mile. It is literally just a bunch of steps so far, so it shouldn't take too long, but we will show you the views as soon as we get up here.
Quick side note, we have met and talked to some of the nicest, kindest people today while being here, so thank you. Me no like. Oh my God. Let's go. I do not like that. Who thought that was gonna be fun? Be completely honest, this is the scariest hike of the day. That bridge alone did it. And then there's a lot of it where you're, on a narrow edge here and whatnot walking, but it's not terrible. However, that bridge was.
Excuse the fact we're a little winded. We finished this, and like he said, this was the most nerve-wracking hike of them all, which sounds crazy.
I actually don't look forward to going back down because of the bridge.
No.
The rest of it I'm okay with. It was scarier than everything else. Granted, I didn't get to do Angel's Landing. That might have taken the cake.
Yeah.
That bridge is a monster, though.
It is a little intimidating, but as tired as we are, as long of a day as it's been, the views were absolutely worth it. It is definitely the prettiest spot of them all that we've been to.
What I don't recommend is doing all the hikes that we've done in a single day.
And then, yeah, it's been a lot. I'll tell you all later the max of everything we did with all the steps, elevation, all of it, once I look at everything later.
And actually, one of the really nice people that we've ran into today that I was referencing earlier asked if we were masochists when we told him the hikes that we've done today. So I guess we qualify. It has been brutal.
Oh, very.
You're hiking at high altitude on rock all day, so it will eventually wear you out.
But it's absolutely worth it. Even if you have one day in Zion, I highly recommend you coming and checking things out.
And although I said don't do everything we've done in a day, if you're only here for a day, do everything you can. So I kind of walk back my previous statement a little bit. I definitely recommend taking in as many sites as you can, or planning future trips if you can do that. Yeah. Oh, this makes me agree that I'm a masochist. All right, so I've been desensitized to many things in my life, but today I was actually sensitized to my awareness of walking and not falling off the side of cliffs. So we got back down from the hike here, and we're on the sidewalk beside the road, and I actually panicked for a half second as my foot swung over the side of it, thinking I might fall off a cliff, and it's, a minor drop, if you even want to call that, to the street.
I'm whooped.
I am tired. I don't know what the totals are. We'll put those on there when we get home for the elevation we climbed, the steps we took. I know it was at least over 24,000 last time we looked at it. Yeah. That's what it was. Elevation climb, steps we took, miles we walked, or whatever. We can put all that in here to let you know how much of masochists we are.
By the way, we're just sitting in traffic. We're trying to get back through the tunnel, so we figured we'd go ahead and close this day out because we're gonna find some more water, some caffeine,
liquid, caffeine, and food.
Yeah.
And then we are going to lounge for the rest of the day and not do anything.
Yeah, it literally, so we woke up at 4 a.m., got here around 6 a.m., and it is 4:22, and we are closing out the day as I am.
And real quick, if you're not familiar, when she says the tunnel, okay, so coming from Mount Carmel, entering into the canyon, there is a tunnel that we have to go through. It does get backed up going through it occasionally because RVs and bigger buses, things like that, have to be escorted through solo because they have to drive down the middle. It's too narrow and short on the edges for them, and they don't want to cause any problems. So if you ever come visit and you're worried about the traffic that you're setting in going through the tunnel, it's because they're trying to get people through.
We also want to highlight where we're staying this week. We are staying over at Zion Cliff Lodge. It is located in Hilldale, Utah. Hilldale, Utah was the perfect location for us because it is right in between the two places we are going this week. So we are going to Kanab, Utah, and then we spent the day today in Zion. And it is about 45 minutes in either direction to get to both those places, which was such a bonus for us. Location is also right on the border of Arizona and Utah, so it's kind of cool that we literally drive like a street over and we're in Arizona. This lodge has some really cool amenities. They have a 24/7 coffee, tea, and snack bar. But they also have a cocktail lounge, dining, and multi-purpose meeting room in the lodge. And another bonus, we don't have our dog with us this time, but they are pet friendly. So if you are bringing your dog on your hiking trip, this is a stay for you. With that, if you are coming on your hiking trip and you have an RV, if you are staying here at the lodge, they have a spot in the back for you to park your RV for free. They have lots of rooms. Our room is the cottage, and it has everything you could want and more for a week's stay. Our room is incredible. Our room has a full kitchen, a full-size refrigerator, a large, very comfortable couch, a TV and a little living room area, and then it has a nice big bathroom with a jetted bathtub, and the bedroom is so spacious, and this room is not lacking space for your storage and luggage to put it out of the way. And also, let's talk about the views. From our cottage room, we have a private outdoor access to the back, and the views are so beautiful. It is exactly what you want if you are coming to stay and go to the mountains. They also have really awesome stargazing from the deck, so we're really excited to check that out tonight once we get settled back in. So not only is this place only 45 minutes from Zion and 45 minutes from Kanab, but they also have a really cool hiking trail, literally right back in the mountains back there. It's called Water Canyon Trail. It's only 5 miles from here. It is a breathtaking trail, and it's free and dog friendly, which is a bonus. They also have the pink coral sand dunes, which are about 21 minutes away, and they're also 21 miles away from the Zion Canyon hot springs. If you are doing the Grand Circle road trip where you are hitting up the Grand Canyon, the national park, like all of it, this is another really unique place to stay. It's about 120 miles away from the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, which is great if you're wanting to do a day trip out there, but you're also going to be close to Zion. It's a perfect location for that. A big thank you though to Zion Cliff Lodge for hosting us this week. The stay has already been more than we could have expected, and we still have 2 more nights here.